Hi Leo, welcome to your March reading. All right, so today is a big day. Today, in about 2 hours, Mars and Venus are going to move into Aquarius. And when that happens, they will meet Mercury and Saturn. There's so much to talk about. There's so much love in the air, not just with like romantic partner, like just like love. There's so much love. There's so much progress moving forward, finally making things a reality. All this intimacy in a way that's real and that you can, you believe it. It's not just words and it's not just gestures. Everything in March takes on this seriousness, Capricorn vibes. It's real. And it's all about love. And people can't help but admire you, especially from afar. And some people have been admiring you from afar for so long that they may even feel that it's time to, have a talk. They might have wanted to for a while. But your vibes for the past 6 months have been very, if you're not serious and if you don't have your shit together, I'm not interested. So if someone is approaching you now, it's good because it means that at the very least they have it together, because you've definitely been putting that vibe out there. And it's great for you too, because I feel that you've been working on yourself steadily and really, doing the hard work and going within and tackling those parts of ourselves that we, it seems almost unnecessary to Leo to do this. It's like people think that somehow Leos run from introspection, and it's not hardly the case. It's not running from introspection, but there's a certain level of introspection that's healthy, after which it kind of just becomes masturbation. And as much as people can fault Leos for being, concerned with themselves, this kind of outright masturbatory, behavior is not really your bag. So it's not that you don't have these deep feelings. You're just not necessarily wanting to wallow in them. For you, laying down and doing nothing is a comfortable thing, something you associate with pleasure, not something that you do when you're stressed out. When you're stressed out, you want to get up, move, hunt, kill, draw blood, eat, you want to do something. That's the fire. That's how fire reacts to things. It burns them, right? So to be able to really do things with your feelings, to be able to move forward and have these great talks, have this great intimacy grow between you and really everybody, right? You have this Pisces sun, you have this Pisces Neptune, you have this Pisces Jupiter that's just adding this huge dose of love and open communication. And look at all of this, but it's grounded in something real. Everyone's being honest, but oh so open. Oh my God. And it's coinciding so perfectly with this work that you've been doing, just so perfectly, because you're able to meet people in that field, instead of a battlefield. You're able to meet people on this neutral, magical field because you've also been doing the work internally. Yes, you were sending out the signals for months, I need a certain caliber of, I need a certain serious, the seriousness level should be here. And you haven't been a hypocrite. At the same time, you've been working on yourself too. You haven't just been demanding these external, you don't just have these like external demands from others, like, oh, you have to be like this. No, you've been doing it. You've been true to your word and really working on the self and taking time to be alone and really address the internal struggles, right? The ones that perhaps you dismissed a little too early because you didn't want to wallow. And this is different. This is not wallowing. This is you taking that fire energy and turning it within and looking at these internal struggles and identifying them and bringing about solutions filled with love and acceptance of self. And kind of even getting used to the moon energy. Like, I think at this point, Leos just have to accept the fact that nothing can be a secret right now. And that you just have to move like your whole life is on display, which means you kind of move like a monk almost. But also, it will keep you safe. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter how these people in the top row feel about you and how real their emotions are, okay, listen to me closely. No matter how they feel about you and how sincere and grounded they may be, that doesn't mean that you're going to respond well to it. That doesn't mean that you'll be able to sustain a connection with someone like that if you aren't in some ways a monk. If your energy isn't completely clean, you won't be able to. You won't be able to, because as soon as you start hiding stuff, as soon as you start being insecure about stuff, it eats at everything. It eats at your connections, especially, and your romantic connections, especially. So if you're in a place where you feel, remember Year of the Tiger video, if you feel like all of backstage is actually upstage, right? And everyone can see everything. If you feel like you're kind of living in the light of this moon and your ego, the emperor, is always being exposed over and over again, it does actually keep you really humble and pure. Because in that state where you're being that honest with yourself and allowing this really bright light to shine on things and acknowledging whatever you see there, and being really easygoing about it and being like, not like judging yourself, just being like, okay, yeah, I see that. When you get there, then anything that happens in that top row is wonderful. Because you're hang up free. You're good. You're just here for the ride and it's fun. And that's when you undoubtedly have the best relationships. So if that means that you need to undergo a little bit of, kind of uncomfortable scrutiny and being in the public eye or being under a microscope or feeling like this light is being pointed at you, well, so be it. Deal with it. It's fine. It's not like you don't know how to be in the spotlight. Come on. You were made for this. Yeah, but Umber, it's moonlight. Okay, so what? So what? You can do it. Listen, the thing is, you can do it. I know you can do it. And everybody else knows you can do it. So it's fine. Just do it. And anything that you feel like is going to be exposed, let me tell you another secret. Anything that you feel is going to be exposed at this time, anything that you're worried about, anything that you're like, oh no, but what if the moon shows this about the, the emperor, I could be like this and I can be like that. Here's the catch. Anything that we find out about you, we think it's charming. You know why? Because we're disgusting. Because we're gross and we just want to vibe with beautiful, gorgeous people who give us beautiful, gorgeous vibes. So even when we find out something ridiculous about you, we're just kind of like, but beautiful, gorgeous vibes. So like, it's okay. Now, we don't want to tell you that because we don't want you to go crazy with it. But at the same time, like, haven't you noticed that you do like ill shit? And we're just like, it's fine. Because first of all, the ill shit that you guys do, it's for yourself. You don't hurt other people with it. You just do wild shit. And secondly, like, we get caught in that halo effect where you're beautiful and charming and we love you and we want you to love us, So we're just like, it's fine. And it is fine. We're not like begrudgingly saying it either. Like, we wish we could tell you it wasn't fine. No, it's really fine. It's fine. Anything that you're worried is going to come out and be like, oh my God, people are going to know this about me. Yeah. First of all, Mrs., Mr., however you like to be addressed, we are very well aware of your lack of self-awareness. We got you. You're not going to do anything that we're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. We know what you're doing. You may feel like there's a spotlight put on that part of your life right now, so it can be illuminated for you to see. But we've been seeing it for a while. It's fine. We're all still here. We all still love you. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now don't you start realizing it and being like, oh my God, everybody must hate me. Nobody hates you. Oh my God, does everybody already know this about me? Yes, we do. Is that okay? It's totally fine. Why is that totally fine? I can't explain it to you. Why do people keep cats? You know, they claw them, they try to kill them, they wake them up in the morning and bully them. Why do they keep them? I don't know. Don't ask me these questions. Okay, now moving on. So aside from all this talk about love, it would be it's a very, very good time to clear the air. Take a look at that Two of Cups. If there's anyone out there that you really feel like you need to have a conversation with, just do it. Just do it. It'll work out. It'll be great. Any sort of work-related, anything that you have to go to, just make sure you look very streamlined, super cute, of course. And then just realize that within those work environments, when you're out there like doing your thing, there are people who are romantically like interested in you and becoming more and more interested in you. And you just like don't let that affect you at all. You just be a boss and do what you do and let them watch and let them clap and let them fall in love with you, because why not? Okay, move on. Now, there is something that's very platonic that you would never think would be anything more than that. Like it's never even occurred to you, that could suddenly turn very romantic. And it's just because that person is falling. They're falling under the spell that you have right now. Like you're just in a space where things are going your way, you know? And this person may have had like a latent desire for you for a long time and is just in a really good job of keeping it to themselves and being very disciplined. But you're just too radiant right now, and they're gonna come out of their face and say something to you. And then you need to like, you know, decide what you want to do with that, especially if it's in a work environment, because that's very, very toxic. Also, for my little magicians out there, any of you who have been doing this kind of like manifestation work where you're like calling someone to you, right? It's fine, whatever, do your thing. It's very likely they're going to show up, because your pull, your attraction, whatever this power is that we're talking about, right? It's not just, it isn't just relegated to this world. You're having like a profound effect in the astral as well. You can kind of see this in your life. You're like thinking about stuff a little bit, and then it's like showing up in your life, and you're like, oh shit, you know that Abraham Hicks stuff that she talks about, like if you imagine a blue butterfly and then like a couple of days later you'll see one. It's like that type of stuff. If you notice like little coincidences, you were like, oh, I really wanted that, and then it like showed up, or like somebody didn't show up and you really wanted their thing, or whatever it was. So there is that feeling of, you know, I think I'm a little bit like vibing right now. I think I'm really clued in right now and keyed in right now, and I'm going with this flow. It seems like it, because I'm thinking about stuff and it's kind of showing up. And in the same way, anyone that you've been, and this is only for those of you who have been like consciously, obsessively doing this. The only reason I'm laughing is because I absolutely know for sure you guys have been doing this. That person is very likely to show up. Now, here's the thing. When you start to feel like, even right now, you're like, oh my God, they're gonna show up, oh my God, they're gonna show up. Okay, listen to me. Be calm. Be calm. 1. Be patient. Don't screw this up at like the 25th hour. Don't do it. The 24th hour. I can't. The 25th hour. Don't do it. Be patient. Continue to be patient. Even when you see the finish line, keep your pace. Be patient. Don't do anything. Make them come to you. Because before they come to you, before they reach out to you, before they're like on their bullshit, they're gonna like try to like somehow get you to like come to them. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if they don't come, whatever. Forget it. But don't you go to them. No. No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. The sun does not revolve around the earth. Just stop. Okay. And this especially can work. We're like going to keep this on the right side of the super toxic, okay? This can especially work for a couple that used to be together, but they were just either like financially in the wrong place or mentally in the wrong place, or right, maturity wise, they weren't like quite there yet. Those couples coming back together right now have a great shot of being together, especially you Leo moons and Leo risings. Great shot. All of you, but especially. Now, at the end of the month, no matter what, you see this Emperor card being illuminated by the sun. At the end of the month, the universe is going to go out of its way to show everybody how douchey you can be. Okay, your words are going to be super cutting. Your bag is fine. Your bag is great. We're doing great over here. Over here, it seems like at the end of the month, your ego gets put on display, and it is not very nice to see. So what does that tell me? That tells me that it's very easy to set you up at the end of the month. Get you arguing about some dumb shit, record you, get you commenting about some dumb shit, take screenshots. Please don't fight with anyone, no matter what. The last week of March. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You have such an influx of business right now. Listen, today Venus has moved into Aquarius. Your financial life is about to completely take off, inshallah. Like, you don't have time to be fighting with petty people about nothing, especially when this karmic sword is being wielded around and can definitely fuck your shit up. Don't do it. Focus on the arenas that are obviously working. You know, right now it seems pretty obvious that if your vision is true and you've got some hardworking people around you, anything is possible for you. Mashallah, anything. Especially because this moon here is just keeping you honest. It won't let your ego get out of control. And I think that's a great thing for you to see here. Right? How you can kind of modulate and control things that perhaps others have told you in the past was a deficit in you. You know, instead of getting upset by it, instead of letting it hurt our feelings, perhaps maybe just learn how to, you know, tackle it and see it. Now, on a more personal note, if you're dealing with a Virgo in the home, as a Leo, if you're dealing with a Virgo in the home right now, it is so tumultuous, and it is so obvious that their heart or their head is just not quite where it should be. And I think that now that makes you want to kind of open this, you know, chalice and give of yourself. But I don't know if this person is willing to receive that anymore, because they do seem to have their back turned to you. And you seem to be out of character here with this watery kind of, you know, here, let me be this or that for you. I'm going to share something with you, okay? I was going to do a whole pod about it, but I'm going to share it with you here, and I think you'll appreciate it. Probably more than anyone. So everyone kept talking about this like one Indian guy on that show, Love is Blind 2, season 2. So I watched it for him because I thought he was going to end up being a douchebag. Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. Whatever, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. But one of the things, the big takeaway for me that was really interesting was that none of those women for a second thought about buying a wedding dress that didn't fit them. Not one of them. Not one of those women came out of the dressing room in a dress and said, I need to get implants before the wedding. I need to get lipo before the wedding. I need to do this. I need to do that. Every single one of them, when they were put on the spot of needing to do something, chose the dress that complemented them best. They didn't even have a certain style. They weren't even loyal to a certain style of dress. The only criteria was that it fit her the way she wanted it to fit her, and that she looked the way she wanted it to look. And so they really just searched around until they felt like something fit just right and were happy with it. Now, interestingly, those same women who displayed so much autonomy and strength and freedom of choice in their ability to choose a dress showed not even an iota of that sort of understanding, integration, or nuance within themselves when it came to the men on the show. For the men on the show, they were willing to pour themselves into basically any mold that that man had ready. And it was such a heartbreaking and stark difference, right? So you know how to choose yourself. You know how to put your comfort and your needs first. We just saw you do it. We saw you throw away every convention, what you thought you wanted to wear, what your mom wants you to wear, what your sister said you should wear, what the bitches in the room are telling you looks better on you than not. No, you're not. You're disassociating with all of it. Society at large, you're just like, no, I'm going to get what I want that looks good on me. So you know how to do it. You know how to choose yourself. You know how to choose what best works for you. It's not like that mechanism is broken. And yet, when it came to a much more important decision than what dress you're going to wear for one day, these girls were lost. They were willing to mold themselves into anything that mattered to fit into that dress or that glass slipper. That story is just to illustrate that point. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're too good for that. Don't do that. You don't need to strip and pinch and squeeze and cut and do all this to fit into somebody's life. And if you need to do those things, that means that they're not giving an inch on anything. That's why all your corners are being cut and you need to run fast today. Do you understand? Good. Now, moving on. That's a lot, right? No, but it illustrates what the month wants for you to understand. All this work that you've been doing, all this choosing yourself that you've been doing, don't throw this all away and turn yourself back into mush to fit into somebody else's mold. You didn't come this far to do that. That's what I'm saying. Now, Venus in Aquarius, Mars in Aquarius, new clients, new money, new promotion, new jobs, new image, all of that starts today, now. Look at yourself. Look at yourself. Which one is it gonna be? Which one is it gonna be? Which one? You want the one who's done it all for herself and is standing there proud of herself and everything that she's done. She knows, she sees, she's done. She planted, she won. But she started somewhere. And I wouldn't be surprised if she started right there. So don't judge yourself that you're not here, because I'm pretty sure she started right there too. Don't get, feel weird. No, that's just sometimes how it is. And there are things that you can do to focus, refocus, and keep doing it until you don't need to do it anymore. You need to refocus on right? Good. this is the month where you start to feel that today, this is where you start to feel that feeling of, I can make this exactly how I want. It's super cool. I love you, love you. I'll see you in the extended.